means the word used is asuri, demonic. The difference is this, not that someone wants money and somebody is ignorant. The difference is there, the one who has faith in God and the other one who does not. So the first verse refers to, it says, Mayaya aparita jnana asurim bhavamapanna, whose knowledge or faith is, they're deluded by Maya and full of demonic attributes. What kind of person is that? The kind of person who feels this world alone is real. There's nothing else. Religion, all that is just nonsense. Spirituality is nonsense. This physical world is real. It's just matter. Matter, energy, time, space, that's what it is. And there's nothing more than this here. So a complete reductionist kind of worldview, and the material goals in the life are what are worth pursuing, and that's it. What about God, heaven, spirituality, enlightenment, Brahman, liberation, whatever? Oh, all that is nonsense. So that's the kind of person he's referring to. So the person completely involved in samsara and sees nothing beyond that, has no faith, let alone knowledge, has no faith, even the possibility of something beyond that. Compared to that, the next verse talks about those who have some faith in God and spirituality, just the beginnings, the glimmerings. And says, such people, the good ones, they are the ones, and he gives 4 categories. That's where the confusion lies. He gives 4 categories of these good people. What are the 4 categories? Chaturvida bhajante mam. 4 kinds of people have faith in me, God, and worship me. What are the 4 kinds? Artha, jigyasu, artharthi, jnanicha. Artha means those who are in distress. Just because they are in distress doesn't mean that they're necessarily good people. He says they are good, or they have a spiritual possibility because they have faith in God. In distress, they turn to God. They have distress, illness, some problem, some near and dear person is in trouble or illness or something, and they're helpless, and they pray to the Lord. They have deep faith that God exists, and if I pray, God will help me. This is what Krishna is pointing out. Sri Krishna is pointing out to Arjuna, they are fortunate. He says, Sukritina, they are fortunate, they have good karma, because for some reason, there is a reason. The reason is they have got a lot of good karma in the past. For that reason, a faith has developed in them, that there is some reality beyond this world. There is some faith in God. And there are so many such people. So many such people. Temples and churches and mosques are full of such people. Those who pray to God for help in their misery. There's a second category, again, good people, and that means those who have faith. What's the second category? No distress, no problem as such, but I want something more. Somebody wants wealth, that's what he's referring to. The one who wants money is a good person. No, it's not because the person wants money. It's because the person wants something and turns to God in faith for it. That's what Krishna is pointing out. Bhajante mam. It turns to God. I need this. Lord bless me with it. It could be money or success or whatever they want in the world, but they're turning to God for it. And of course putting forth whatever effort. So there's faith. Now these 2 categories are worldly, there's no doubt. As he's saying, that's why he's confused. He's saying there's not particularly good. What's so great about wanting money? True, nothing particularly great. Whether they want money or they want relief from distress, it is worldly. It's a worldly desire. But to fulfill their worldly desires, they're trying to get hold of God. Higher than this is the 3rd category, who has no problems, no distress, who is not even asking for anything in this world, but has a quest. Jigyasu. Does God exist? Narendranath rushes around and goes to Sri Ramakrishna and says, have you seen God? Does God exist? Who am I? What is the reality? In a Vedanta, you can approach in both ways. If you are devotional, you are in the God category. And if you are philosophical, of a philosophical bent of mind, the who am I or what am I category. Whatever. Inquiry into the self or inquiry about God. Both are Brahma Jigyasa. So that's Jigyasu, that's the higher category, the spiritual seeker. Most of us here are. Most of us here. We are here because we have a spiritual quest. And the last category, Krishna says, among the good people. Jnanicha, the enlightened, a person who's already enlightened. That person is the true devotee of God. So he says, these four worship me. They have faith in me. The one in distress, the one who wants something, the one who wants to have enlightenment, and the one enlightened one. The enlightened one, then next verse Krishna says, the enlightened one is the dearest to me, for he knows me in truth. Then for others, I am an article of faith. And for the earlier category, the so-called demonic category, there's no question of faith also. Now, the question is, it's unfair. It's not unfair, because if you look at the Hindu worldview, not just Hindu, Buddhist, the Indian worldview, Hindu, Buddhist, Jain, Sikh worldview, there are multiple births, any number of chances. So, if a person has no faith in God, this is unfair because the life had not revealed to him. Doesn't matter. Wait, life will reveal. Time will come. In this life, next life, it will come. As experience after experience piles on. We are all ancient souls. You just have to look into the eyes of a newborn baby to realize it's a very ancient creature. So, experience after experience, it shapes it's like the school of life. And we will come to spiritual life. Everybody will come to spiritual life. That's why Vedanta is not missionary. Vedanta is very patient, very laid back. Vedanta's approach is take your time. I often say Vedanta is like finishing school for spirituality. Last stop, spirituality. Yeah, take your time. Explore. Swami Vivekananda says, take your time only half seriously, because it's better not to take your time. If you really ask me, many lives and enormous amounts of suffering. Who would want to go through that? If you're sensitive enough, if you're really sensitive, then you realize the nature of this world. Why would you want to repeat it again and again? That first person is demonic because for that person this world is great and this is what that person wants. So let the person go on. Vedanta is relaxed enough to wait. Maybe at the end of this life, maybe other lives, the person will come back. We go through so many, and we have all been like that. So there's no need to think that that person is specially unlucky or lost. We have all been like that, and now we are here.